Live from the Sycamore Lounge, it's time to muster the gusto with James and Sean.
Storm's coming.
Storm's coming.
Bro, Captain, what's the forecast?
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Muster the Gusto, episode 10.
Yeah.
This one is near and dear to my heart
Tell me why.
because we're talking about video games with our awesome Uncle Darren, one of the most knowledgeable folks on video games. He's got about every system, he's played them all, and has a deep love for them. And I feel like that love transferred to me. I, as well, love video games.
Yeah, it's true. That comes straight from Uncle Darren, you think? Must have, right?
Oh yeah, I think he was a defining influence for sure.
Bug in here.
In your cup?
Besides the point. Anyway, video games. Uncle
Yes.
Darren. Yeah.
So we sat him down. We were gonna do quick top 5. We were gonna do a little segment, but it wound up. We made a full episode.
45, 50 minutes.
Yeah, if we had more time, that's the thing. We were a little pressed for time in this particular episode. But if we had a full amount of time, I think it would have. Not that it was great, but I feel like we could have really there might have been a little hurried feel to this episode.
Yeah.
If you would have had everything still set up, that would have been cool.
Yeah, they're in the process of moving right now, so I think Uncle Darren's going through. I think he enjoyed this talk because he's going through a bit of a. He mentions it. He's getting a fight with our aunt because he's just tense about not being able to play. I think he's playing iPad or
He's playing mobile
that,
games,
which is
it's not going to fill the void.
No. So yeah, we had a really good time, and also our niece Chuck wanted to get in on the action because she's a big video game fan. And training, she's like the new you.
She is. It's great. I love it. She'll come over, and all she'll do is play VR. And I'm like, oh my god, man, this reminds me of me when I was her age.
You gotta get her set up with the Game Pass thing on that surface.
That's what I said. Yeah, it would be good for her.
Yeah.
She would love that.
Yeah, she's a little gamer in training.
Oh yeah.
She'll tell me how to do stuff. I have no idea what's going on.
Oh, she knows all the secrets.
Uncle Jay, press the A button.
You gotta go down here and go up there. You gotta go around.
She makes that noise.
Does she do that? I don't think she does that.
I'm a goober.
Oh, on
Right.
camera.
She's
Thrown
gonna
down.
be watching this,
Thrown
bro.
down, Chuck. Throw the gauntlet.
Just so you know, I'm not calling you a goober. It's this guy. That's on you.
Anyway, it was fun. I had a good time. I feel like I spent a lot of this episode off camera, but that's cool.
Did you?
Well, because I gave Chuck my seat, and I just sat on the floor.
I got you in
No,
there.
I think you were in the shot.
I didn't think I was.
I thought he was.
I thought I relished the opportunity to not be on camera, but what are you gonna do?
You're the host, man.
That one though, I feel like it was more. You were sort of the host on that one. You have way more knowledge with the video games. It's just it's your thing, So I thought I'll sit in the back seat on this one, and I'll let you, Uncle Darren and Chuck, do the video game thing. But it was good. We had a really good time.
Yeah, it was a fantastic time.
Yeah. Hopefully for our next episode, we'll be back in the Sycamore Lounge with whoever our guest may be, or guests. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We got a lot lined up, a lot in store.
You're just gonna have to watch and see.
Yeah. All right. Well, is that about it?
Yeah, let's roll that clip.
Enjoy.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
This is our Uncle Darren, and I don't think any other person on Earth has been more integral in instilling the love of video games that Sean has
Absolutely.
than our Uncle Darren right here.
Influential.
Would you say that that's true?
Influential.
What are we doing?
Absolutely. He was
Probably.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, so we thought, the subject was vacation, but I guess it's shifted to video games really quickly.
Vacation.
What do you do on vacation? You play
Vacation.
video games. That's what
Is
I
that
do.
what you do on vacation?
They're very relaxed. You can do many things.
Alright, fair enough. Alright, so let's just get
It's
into
fluid.
it. Chuck, come on.
Come on in here, Chuck. Get over here.
Please. Alright, so we're gonna do top 5 video games. I thought it would take too much time for us to go one at a time with this, with each game. So we're all just gonna have to say our lists all at once. So I'll point. So we'll start with you, Liliana. Chuck.
No, we're starting with you.
With me? Okay.
I
well,
demand
switch
it.
it up. I have mine. I probably have the least to say about all these games.
I said I demand
Good,
it.
good.
But I have them written down here, let's say in no particular order. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Super Mario World, the one for Super Nintendo. I think it's pretty immersive.
We're talking
Amazing.
Super Mario World or that big All Stars collection?
No, not that one. The one
Okay.
is that the name of the Super Mario World, the big one for Super Nintendo?
Yeah. There's two, like the two names for that one and the one that includes everything.
Crash Bandicoot. My games are real basic, by the way. Crash Bandicoot.
Well, it shows what you like. You're a big platformer, so that's like
It
it
shows
shows
that
in
you're
your
a
list.
basic person.
Here's a bit of a wild card, though. Uncle Darren, I'm sure you remember this game. Intelligent Cube.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that game is awesome.
Simple, but very good.
As
could
you,
get
as you
complex
keep going,
really
though, yeah, because you start with 4 cubes in a row, right? And I think eventually you graduate to 8, and it's like gets really intense because you got it. Like after a stage or two, you're like, okay, I got
And it
this.
really makes you feel like, you know, your IQ is up there.
Exactly.
You got to that highest level. And
Yes. You feel
you
like
know,
this is
yeah.
actually measuring my intelligence,
That's
right?
right.
there.
That's right. When you're done with that game, you're like, hey,
You're
This is
Einstein.
all I need to
I
know.
know I'm smart. You saw what I just did in there.
Yeah, exactly, right?
I'm basically a rocket scientist at this
This whole
point.
time I thought I was smart. Yeah, so that's I love that game. Actually, a couple years, what was it? Maybe 5-6 years ago, Sean found me a copy. There's a video game store next to us in Asbury Park. They have a copy. I want to say it's $179 for a copy of IQ, Intelligent Cube.
Are you kidding?
No,
It's
for real.
cheaper at
It's
J2
crazy.
Games. I
Yeah.
saw
Really?
J2 had it for like 46.
Yeah. So wherever you go, I mean, that's probably the price of more or less the price of it when it first came out, right? It was probably somewhere around $50.
It was like 50, I believe, at the PlayStation era. We were at like 50, right? We didn't get to 60 until like PlayStation 2, I think, right?
No, Nintendo 64. I remember Zelda
Nintendo
was
64?
$60 because I had to save for
Yeah.
that.
Oh.
But that might have been because it was Zelda. Maybe
I remember
certain games hit
PlayStation
a
era.
peak.
PlayStation era at least.
I
PlayStation
thought it
games
was
were
the
50.
beginning of the Xbox era when it went to 60. That's what I
Maybe there were one or two that were higher, and
It
then
could
like
be.
that became
Possibly.
Right on. So how many did I say?
You said Intelligent Cube. That was the
I
one.
said
Sure,
Intelligent
Intelligent
Cube,
Cube.
Sonic, Mario, Crash Bandicoot, any one of them. Did I say Rock Band?
Oh yeah.
Really?
That's a
I want to
huge
say
one.
Rock Band 2, though. I was talking with Sean about this a while ago. With movies, I feel like, generally speaking, sequels are sort of inferior. Not always.
Except for Terminator 2.
Terminator 2,
Terminator
Aliens,
2.
right? But on a whole, you would say probably the first one's usually the best one. With video games, I believe it's kind of the opposite of that. I think they've refined the formula as they go on. With a lot of games.
I think that's
Which is why, like Sonic 2, I picked, Super Mario World. It's like they smooth away the rough edges,
Yeah, because they have the basic foundation.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they're just gonna build on it. And,
Sure.
And yeah, sometimes they can screw that up. They
Oh,
can,
yeah,
but,
definitely.
you know.
Alright,
Is
you
that
got
it?
your top 5.
That's fine. I do want to give honorable mention to Tony Hawk's Underground.
Oof, good one.
I think
Thug
they
is great.
really
Thug is a
refined that.
great
Yeah,
game.
they really. That's where I think Tony Hawk hit its peak.
Thug.
After that,
Oh, yeah.
downhill.
Yeah.
I think it was building up to there. We got there, and then straight down to the top.
Proving
Right?
Grounds. You
Or
got
the one. What's the one where you actually
Ride.
got a
Ride.
skateboard?
Tony Hawk Ride.
Who's looking for that? I can actually buy a skateboard and skate out in real life. Don't. But I think that was when peripherals were real, like Rock Band and stuff.
That was
like
like the
were
Wii
popular.
came out, Rock Band came out,
Yeah.
motion controls.
Tony Hawk Ride was one of the first games where you see Tony Hawk going around and promoting this, and I felt like inside I was cringing, like him trying to
His
be
heart
like,
wasn't in it.
yeah, it's so cool. Like you can
I'm
tell
a
he's
cool
not into
skater.
it. But he's got to sell it. He's Tony Hawk.
What's
Yeah.
crazy now is with augmented reality, you could have a skateboard and some app on a phone that's like tracking you and scoring you as you're doing things. Like it's gotten ridiculous.
Well, that was actually a funny era, that Tony Hawk, right? Because they were coming out with like surfing games, and the guy who
That's
just
right,
won,
Sean-
like the
was
the
it
surfing award.
Sean
and-
White.
Yeah,
Sean
Yes,
White.
you know.
And then who was
That
the
game
Kelly?
Like, they always
Slater
had to
Kelly,
have-
some
yeah.
Kelly dude.
That game's 1080, right? Was that the big snowboarding game too?
They also had Shaun White's snowboard. That was like the Tony Hawk, and they had some
They had that
BMX
They were trying to make him the Tony Hawk.
Some
Aggressive
BMX
inline,
dude
the
just
skating.
won like the BMX champion. She didn't even know who he was.
Take me
They
around.
had
It was
some
Dave
guy.
Mirra.
Some guy was on the. I can swear his name was Garcia or something like that.
Eddie Garcia.
He was a surfer or something. Could you imagine?
'Cause yeah, they
Play
had
a
Tony Hawk.
surfing game. A surfing game. What the hell?
Well, I guess when lightning strikes like that with Tony Hawk, they're like, oh,
Everybody
let's do
That's
this
what
for,
it is.
yeah.
Everybody wants to get.
Let's
you
do
know,
it for
surf on the
surfing.
good
Let's do it for polo. Like but. All right, so that's my top 5. Who wants to go next?
Listen, you
What's
guys
on your
can
run
wrap-
in order
There's
there?
no way you could wrap me into this top 5 thing because I just can't do it. I'll tell you why.
I had trouble
Because
with it.
like when I was talking to you about it before, I said there are certain milestones throughout my whole time playing video games. I mean, back from when I remember Grandpa came home and he brought home this. It was called Ricochet, and it was just these 2 big boxes that you just hooked up to the back of the TV and you played Pong.
Wow.
And Pong was in like, different variations of Pong. It was like, okay, you could play by yourself, hit it against the wall, hit the ball against the wall, and back to yourself. You could play with 2 paddles on each side, and it's all it was. So when it came out to like the Atari 2600, and the programmable video games, and being able to see, color video games and shooting things out of the sky and stuff, that was cool stuff. So to me, it's all about milestones. Like where we are right now, I remember it was always whenever we played a video game, you'd always get the cutscene, right? And the cutscene would look so good. You'd say, "That's the way I want my video game to look," right? But you don't say that anymore because why? Because we're there.
Yeah, we've
right?
hit that level.
Yeah, we're
It's
there
kind
now.
of
It's
equal.
you have high def video gaming right now. There is no better. So this is the greatest time, right?
I
Final
remember
Fantasy
the
VII the
cutscenes.
other day. Sean's playing Final Fantasy VII. And
I
showed the
finally-
cutscenes, and he's like, "Oh, this looks good." And it goes back to game. It's like, "Oh, this
I
is
remember
the game."
in
looks like.
Resident
was all the
Evil
sprites,
2,
yeah.
right? Like the cutscenes looked incredible, and then you cut back to the same characters you were just looking at, and you're like, "What the hell? What happened?" But okay, so if you don't want to do the top 5, that's understandable. I get that.
Yeah.
But like, what are the big, couple of the big milestone games?
Games that
big
impacted your
milestones-
life.
Obviously, the big milestone games are to me. It was the very first game that I got with my Sears. It was a Sears branded Atari 20. They called it Tele Games. That's what they called it. So it was called Target Fun. It was, I think Atari called it like subs and something else, but that was because when we played that game, it was like it really was the next level for me because I'm playing now color now. Can you imagine you're playing black and white with this little ball back and forth? Now all of a sudden I'm shooting planes out of the sky and again there was like 20 variations of that, but like you were shooting from subs and stuff. But it was cool because it was all color and everything. So that was a very impactful game. I'd say that some of the next jumps from there when of course when the crash happened and then seeing Nintendo, we were just hanging out in the store and all of a sudden, what is this? I didn't even know video games were back. There it is. And it was funny because when you bought the NES back then, you had to buy the whole set with the Rob. I don't know if you guys remember the
That's
Rob.
little robot dude
Robot,
that had, like,
yeah, with the gyros, right?
I had that dude.
Yeah, so you had this battery operated thing that spun the little gyro around, and then the Rob, you use the controller to take Rob and put him,
Rob's gonna be great.
put him on it, and it never worked because you try to do something because the gyro was supposed to stay on there. It was pressing a button on the pad that was underneath, and the gyro would never spin fast enough for you to do what you had to do, and it was so annoying. So the gyro would fall off, and you'd be like, oh god. But the cool thing is having an almost exact port of Donkey Kong, not Donkey Kong, excuse me. It was Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong on that system. It was just in reverse. When you went to the arcade, I believe Mario went this way, that way, and that way. And then it was like the reverse. I don't know. It was kind of weird. I think in in the NES game. I think it was kind of almost like reverse.
I don't remember,
But,
but yeah, Mario starts on the left, goes that way.
I think so. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but
It
it
took
was
a while
it was
to get there. Though.
yeah, it was that. So that was another impact.
So was there ever a time where you like gave up hope on video games as far as technological advances?
Oh no.
So it was quick enough that it's like, oh,
No, because right after that, when you know, it was all about bits back then. So it was 4-bit. Then we went from 4-bit to 8-bit, which was the Genesis. I remember when I first saw the Genesis. It's crazy that you remember certain things in your life, right? We were actually walking into Macy's of all places, and Macy's had this whole display of the Sega Genesis, and the one game that really stuck out back then, Ghouls and Ghosts.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Ghouls and Ghosts. That was
Yeah.
such a tough one.
That
game was hard.
It
It was
was an exact port of the original arcade game, and I remember looking at it and saying, "Oh my God, look at these graphics! This is fantastic!" You know. And then so that was another thing that when the Genesis came around, it seemed like things started to move a little bit quicker now. You know. Then Electronic Arts came into it at that point, and it just snowballed from there. And then if you're going to talk about other leaps and bounds, you know, you'd say, okay, when the Super NES did come out and they had that what was it called? It was almost like when you were playing Ninja Turtles and you flipped the guy and the guy came out the screen at you. It had 3D. Had that 3D effect. What they call it? It was called
Stereoscopic.
it was called scaling. It was called scaling for sprites.
Kind of like in the SNES, their
Super
thing
NES.
too was Star Fox. That was the first game to have the 3D polygons.
Yes.
Like the little-
Yeah.
It looked like shit, but it was like the foundation for all flight combat games, Mario 64. It was just like, we're gonna have this little bitty triangle, and the way it moved.
They were super innovative, Nintendo, because when they came out with there was that Donkey Kong Country, the very first game. You remember how good that looked? It was on, I think it was on the Super NES, right?
Yeah.
And it looked so good.
I'm talking about looks.
It was-
Mortal Kombat. The way they filmed the people, like they filmed them live action.
Yeah, there's a
green
YouTube
screen.
We had
video. Have you
recently
seen that
seen-
video?
That's right.
There's like human beings they filmed dressed up as Sub-Zero.
If you watch it, if you watch the
Very
original
cool to
Mortal
see it's on
Kombat, you
YouTube.
see Scorpion sitting here like this. That was a real dude. They filmed against
Yeah.
the green screen
Yeah.
put in.
Yeah.
It looks
Look it
so
up.
real.
It's on YouTube, guys. Look it up. Mortal Kombat.
Oh, it's
Behind the
But
scenes.
then when we were
Super
playing them
cool to
on
see.
those systems, they were ports. You know, they weren't exact
Yeah.
ports. But then of course when Sony came out with Mortal Kombat 3, that was like an exact port of Mortal Kombat 3. That was
Is that the one where Sub-Zero doesn't have his mask
And he got
on?
the scar. He got the scar
The
on
scar,
his face.
yeah,
he got
yeah,
short
yeah.
One
hair.
of them he doesn't have the mask on, right? And he has
Yeah.
like slick back hair.
Do you remember the Sub-Zero game? He
Yeah,
had that
Sub-Zero
game.
with
That was on
N64,
N64,
right?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It wasn't
actually.
bad, it was decent.
Yeah, it was a different beast.
You learned
Yeah.
about his clan.
Did you ever
and
play
his-
that game?
I don't.
It was like a scrolling, side scroller.
Oh, you never
it
played
wasn't.
that?
It wasn't just
It
a
was
straight up.
decent. It was alright.
It's
Yeah.
the backstory of
Sounds-
Sub-Zero.
Sounds like a Streets of Rage kind of game. Remember that game? Streets of Rage.
Yeah, do you remember?
It was
No,
exactly like that.
it was because Streets of Rage was just like a beat 'em up, right?
That was a
Yeah,
side
yeah,
scroller.
Yeah. But this was
Like
it was
the-
more advanced than that, and there was a storyline. There was like medallions, and it wasn't just a
It was
straight
about
up.
how like the Lin
puncher.
Kuei
So
clan.
all that,
versus-
all that
makes a
stuff
little
came from
platform.
Double Dragon, right?
Yeah.
Double Dragon. Remember Double Dragon was like the first
Of course,
big,
Double Dragon.
That game was hard as hell.
So, what we, well, jumping forward to the present, like lately, what have I
Well,
don't mean to bring up a
let's
sore
not.
spot, but
I don't want
said,
to.
you
Let's
haven't
not.
had
Let's
your-
not jump past Halo, right?
Halo.
Oh, that-
Halo.
that's
Halo.
Halo is huge, huge. I mean, you can't jump past that.
When you see that ring the first time, it's like, wow, this is
First time I remember a
impressive.
controller. I remember the Rumble Pack from N64, but the Xbox controller would just straight up rumble. at
Do
you.
you
And it
remember
was a
the
beast.
original
It was a beast.
monster
I
controller?
love it. I love that thing, man. They actually
The
made
reason
some
why,
for
the reason why they, you know what, the reason why they did it, right? Like they made it so big, right?
Why?
Because over in Japan, they said, "Oh, they're small controllers with small hands." So this is America now. We got to make a bigger controller because we have bigger hands. I swear.
So we all
That's
had
hilarious.
big, giant American hands.
Big giant American
So-
But
macho
most of the
guy.
people, like, they weren't used to that huge
And
controller.
we're
It was was
also
really big. The
big.
Duke,
Yeah,
they
it was
called
huge.
it, right?
It
The
was
Duke.
huge.
Yeah, Halo, awesome game.
But you know, you looked right past it when you were playing Halo, though, right? It just had so many great things. The
For
music.
me, Halo, there was a point when I was playing it, and I remember the first part, oh, this game is so cool. Then a few minutes in, it stopped being a game, and it was more like an experience. Like I was just there. Like the story, it's like watching Star Wars for the first time as a kid. There was a genuine moment where you're just disconnected from being
It's
a
so
game. And
immersive.
yeah, that's where
So
you were
immersive.
there.
And it
top 5 for me.
Do you have your top 5 ready?
Sorry.
Sorry,
Sorry, I'm just
here.
going off on a tangent.
Here, take the chair.
This is what happens. It's mustard with gusto here.
I'm gonna. Please give us your top 5.
James coming behind the scenes.
Chuck, aka Liliana.
Give her the
No.
hat. Give her the hat.
You want the hat? Here, take
No,
the
I don't
hat.
want that hat. That's the goober
And
hat.
James, how's it feel to
Sweaty.
be behind the scenes?
I don't like it.
That is the goober hat. Cause it's a
Chuck,
hat.
top 5.
All right, top 5. Top 5.
All right, so at 5 I would put Minecraft. At 4 I would put Breath of the Wild.
Ooh, good one.
3 A Link to the Past.
Ah, yes.
2 Diablo 3.
Can I guess one?
Diablo.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wow.
Is it Portal?
2. It's Portal 2.
Oh my god.
This
we're
was-
gonna- like,
The ones the games you just played.
Uncle James, you idiot, it's Portal 2.
This was a triumph. I'm making a note here. Huge success. And also, the cake is a lie and every other portal meme.
Great list.
Sean.
Great list, I gotta say. Fantastic
The
list.
Diablo
Breath of the
3.
Wild's fantastic.
That's
I still haven't
Diablo
beaten it.
2.
I have almost 100 hours into Breath of the Wild. I still
I
haven't
have-
beat it. It's such a good game. I love
I
it.
have 300 hours into it.
300.
Wow.
That is awesome.
What's your
Don't
top
say
5?
Elder
I
Scrolls. Any
feel
Elder
so
Scrolls
bad.
games?
because
I'm
I've
about
played
to.
it.
Hey,
Oh.
it's about to
Never
drop.
played it.
It's about to drop. This isn't.
You'll
in-
like it. You'll
Yeah.
definitely like it.
My list isn't in any particular order. It's a random list. You'll see. It's Resident Evil 2, huge hit for me. Metal Gear Solid. This is a tough one. Max Payne.
Ooh. The origin of the bullet time effect.
Morrowind. My fifth is.
You could never get her to stop playing Morrowind. I think
This
it was
is so hard.
It was like an entire year.
I basically lived inside of it.
we were sharing a room at the time, and it's all that was ever on the TV
We
screen.
were
That
talking
was
about
awesome.
Morrowind. Morrowind was so cool, and the reason why it was so cool is because it was open world, right? And you could run into a cave that you should not be in. Okay? You should be like a level 30 or something when you're like level 3. You could run into that cave, you could grab the stuff and run out of there and actually put the stuff on and it actually works for you. Like most games nowadays, right? And you have to be a certain level to use
You
that
find
armor.
this beautiful
Right?
armor.
And you can't
You
use
can't
it.
use it. It's
You're
just
lugging
there.
it around, or you're gonna throw it in a chest somewhere, and then you forget. You pass that level, and you're like, "Oh, I don't need that anymore." You know, but in that game, you were able to wear it and reap all the benefits
And you
because
look
you ran in and stole it.
sometimes.
It's the Wild
It was
West.
great. Such a great game.
So you got one more then, don't you?
I do. Oh my god, this is so tough.
Wait, there are people.
That was
downstairs.
anticlimactic.
I'm sorry. I'm still thinking.
I got 5 random ones after this.
Okay.
Stuff you wouldn't even think of.
Well, can we talk about Resident Evil 2 for a sec? That's
Yes.
an amazing game. Resident Evil 1
When
was
you said
great.
when you were
Resident
talking about
Evil
Resident Evil,
was
Resident Evil 1 was the impact game though, because that was like there was no horror games out there, nothing like that.
Yeah.
I mean, when you experience those dogs jumping through the glass,
Yeah, I
in
remember
that hallway,
I remember
that
that.
was the creepiest
Yeah.
thing ever.
Chilled me to the core. I remember I was playing it alone,
Yeah.
and that when those. Oh my god, when the dogs
You
were
walk down the hall, there's
You're
blood
just
farts.
you're not ready for
And how many
that.
times did you have to go through that area
Yeah.
too? Because
Yeah.
you got
You go
killed,
back and forth.
then it happened again.
Yeah.
It was almost like doing the.
Yeah.
You don't know when they're gonna jump through the window. When are they gonna jump through the window?
Most
Yeah,
games before
yeah.
that and after, you have bullets. Resident Evil. You're like, alright, I got 4 bullets. How long? Like,
Well,
And
and then
then
if you started as Chris, you didn't even get a gun.
You didn't
right?
get the gun,
They
right?
started you off with a
That's
knife.
Yeah,
and
knife,
it.
that's it,
You had to
yeah,
kill
yeah.
that first zombie. It was really hard to kill a zombie with a knife too.
It was a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Stab, run back, stab, run back.
Yeah, it was not easy. But yeah, Resident Evil 1, but I don't know, Resident Evil Evil 2, I feel like they really, I don't know. There's just something about that game that's
Something that resonated with me. You know what it was? I think it was just being in that city, in Raccoon City. You're on, because you start on the streets of Raccoon City, and you have to make your way to the police station. Something about it's so visceral. You're on the streets, you're trying to run from these zombies, you have to zigzag and dodge them. You know, it's something so, it's intense. It really put me in there,
Yeah.
you know?
And being in the police station, I just thought that was a great setting, you know? And
Yes.
you got the liquor.
Did you play the remake yet?
The remake?
Yeah, they remade modern graphics on PS4,
Did
Xbox
they
One.
change the controls? Because I know that back then the controls were
Weird.
It's
weird.
more
They're
modern.
weird now because we're used to the Halo way now. right?
I think there's multiple
there's-
options. You can use the old controls, or you can go with newer controls if you want.
But it's
So you can use the
Only
older controls.
because when you go back, I mean, when you played it, yeah, you were used to it back then. But now that we're used to playing a different way now all of a sudden,
And it's
'cause
not
everybody
really-
likes
Well,
that
you have
same
to turn,
If
template.
I remember correctly,
right?
you have the multiple
Yeah,
options.
yeah.
You had
It's
to turn,
different.
and then no matter which
Yeah.
way.
Yeah,
So you
this
were like a
one-
tank.
Yeah.
You
Point
know?
this way,
Yeah,
point
it was
that way.
odd
Yeah.
controls. I thought, yeah.
And then the
Yeah.
fixed camera angles too. There
Yeah.
were those fixed angles that you could only see from.
that
The
was-
cool thing about the new game is it's not just a remake. It's not one for one remake. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna play this with better graphics. They switch things up a little bit, so it's slightly different, but the main story's there. They might switch some rooms around, so it's not just like, oh, I know where I'm going. You'll be surprised.
Okay.
Was it Mr. X is terrifying.
Oh yeah, he doesn't stop.
He is horrifying. He's this gigantic beast.
You hear that?
And he's chasing people.
thud.
Yeah.
John, you owe us one more game.
Oh my god, this is so hard.
Katamari.
Oh, you know what?
Final Fantasy.
You're right. I think Katamari is going to be the one. Katamari was just such a strange, beautiful game in so many ways. Visually, soundtrack-wise, just a wonderful game. One of those games I keep going back to.
You control it with 2 joysticks. That's it.
That's
There's
it.
nothing else. You just-
It's really not complicated, but it is such a wonderful game, and it has so many layers to it, and so many secrets for you to unfold.
That's a good weird game.
I love it.
Sound and music's great too.
It's such a good soundtrack, guys.
Yeah.
And I've mentioned this before on the show. Please check out the soundtrack to Katamari Damacy. It's so good.
I got 5.
Wait, before you
I'm
get
just
5,
gonna-
I want to shout out Parappa the Rapper 2 real quick.
Rap the Rap. Oh, that's right.
2.
For the rap.
Yeah. Those are like rhythm-based
Don't forget the cheese.
music games. I feel like
Oh,
that was
nice.
an early sort of rhythm-based music game.
Yeah.
Maybe in a weird way the precursor to like a rock band. But I guess rock band is probably a natural progression from like DDR, right? But anyway,
It's a mix, really. Like Parappa the Rapper and DDR.
is
equal
equal
rock
What
band.
was
rock band.
first?
Yeah.
Uncle Darren, do you know what was first? DDR or Parappa the Rapper? Probably DDR, right?
I don't remember.
DDR was always around in arcades, right? Not always.
Yeah, you always had that one
Oh,
dude.
Rapper
this
the Rapper,
whole-
wasn't that was a Sega game, right? Was it Sega?
I know. We had it for PlayStation 1, but it might have
I
been.
think it originated on
Original-
the
Sega
on
has
the Sega
PlayStation
Saturn,
games
maybe.
Sega, I thought it was.
Yeah, great. I love Parappa the Rapper.
Yeah.
It was so fun and goofy, but like it was like a fun game, and it was a little tricky to get used to the controls and stuff like that. You know, because mostly it was the X and the box and the whatever, but then they throw the up, left, right
The
at you
triggers
sometimes.
to
You're
it.
like, what? Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I would say, and I spoke to them earlier about it, is the Mickey Mouse's Castle of Illusions on Genesis.
I forgot about
Which
that
was
game
a
completely
really,
until you said it
really
earlier.
good game. Really good game.
That sounds awesome. Can you get that?
Yeah.
Legally? Can
Yeah.
you get that for us?
I can get it illegally, like I get anything else.
You're gonna
remember
get
that
it
game?
legally.
No, I don't remember.
I'm gonna get it
Oh,
100%
The
legal.
levels were just amazing.
Was it like a side-scrolling type of game?
Side scrolling, but
It was hard too, but it was like rewarding.
the levels would turn upside down on you. You'd have to do things
Whoa.
the opposite way.
Yeah, it was a weird game.
You know, it was, and very precise.
Yeah,
Very,
if you
very,
get
very
back, it was
precise.
like 5 minutes
Yeah,
an hour
really
when
good.
we played.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that reminds me, that Intelligent Cube thing. That's I do want to play that.
That game's great. It's
You
like,
have that though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Well, everything's packed away.
Yeah,
That's why I didn't want to bring up a sore spot because I was going to ask
That's
you
right.
what game you've been playing lately, but
Pokemon
Uncle
Go.
Darren's in
I
the
know,
process of
I've-
moving right now, so
I've been
right now
reduced
stuff's
to. I've
packed
been
away.
reduced to my.
How long has it been packed away?
How many games? Like,
Well, laptop. Get your laptop out.
like 2 or 3 months.
That's
Laptop.
You have
That's
things
right.
This is,
playing.
I'm really detoxing. toxic.
I can tell you.
Some nights I just get into arguments with Aunt Kathy, and she's like, "What's wrong with me? What do you mean, what's wrong with me? Have you seen me play a video game in how long?"
All right, Joe.
I got games you didn't even think about. Ocarina of Time, which is still rated like one of the best games ever. Mirror's Edge. Just the gameplay. Every other game up until Mirror's Edge, you got these heads-up displays. Mirror's Edge had nothing. I think something might have highlighted color when you're running, but there was no.
For the most part,
graphics.
yeah, it was pretty
You just had to
straightforward.
go. Condemned Criminal Origins.
Oh, good pick. That was a great game.
Because it was so unique at the time. Xbox 360, it was brutal, it was visceral. Another one with no HUD. It was just.
And it kind of combined those like CSI
You had to investigate these murders, and your character was not stable. So it's like that protagonist. You don't know what the unstable narrator, kind of like Fight Club. You don't know what he's seeing. Are you fighting demons? Are you fighting mannequins in a mall while you're hallucinating? You don't know. Portal, because it was just weird and cool. Like a Condemned, like a Minecraft, because at the time it was unique. It just comes out. This game was thrown out. When I found it, it was $3. I was here, pay $3 and play this weird digital Lego game. And it just kept evolving. Now it's a phenomenon. Number 1, Kerbal Space Program. Because it's actual rocket science. Like you have to build rockets. Like if you don't do this shit, you build this massive rocket. It gets to space, it explodes. You spend 6 hours, you lose everything.
I would like to put a shout out to the TurboGrafx 16 and a bunch of games on that system that a lot of people don't even think about. It's like Legendary Axe, Blazing Lasers. I mean, I don't know if you guys were into that era when everything was about shooters. It was when we called them shooters, they were little starships shooting.
like Galaxy.
You remember a game like Blazing Lasers? You don't remember that game?
I don't remember that one.
Ooh, look that
Star
one up.
Fox,
Blazing Lasers.
Blazing Lasers. We'll have to check that out.
Fantastic shooting game.
But that,
what's
Thunder Force 3 on the Genesis.
you got your phone?
Another.
Unbelievable. Write these games down. So
So Liliana, would you mind handing me my Chuck? I'm sorry. Would you mind handing me my
you
phone?
can't use mine. I want to write these games down so I get something to download.
I need my phone, not my glasses.
And another
Here you
one.
go.
Blazing Lasers.
You have.
Shit, that's. I'm sorry. I don't want to. I don't want to cut you off.
1 and 2.
I didn't
You know
mention.
Ys, right?
I didn't mention Shenmue.
Shenmue.
Huge game.
Shenmue.
I can't believe I didn't put Shenmue on my list.
You know what I think would be fun, real quick, if everyone wants to do really quick. What's your favorite arcade game?
Oh, that's a nice one. I like that. Let's do it.
And maybe if you can think of one, if you want to pick Pac-Man, that's fine. But maybe if you can think of like a not quite
the
as.
Mickey
I
Mouse game?
have one
House of Illusion.
that's dear to my
Castle of
heart
Illusion.
that not everyone knows.
It was Castle of Illusion. Yes.
So, Sean, favorite arcade game?
All right, Die Hard. Die Hard easily is one of my favorite games. It was a beat 'em up, and it was in the arcades. That was one of the first ones I played at Rocking Horse Ranch. I dumped all my quarters into it, and it was such a good game. I loved it.
Chuck, you have a favorite arcade game?
All right, I did what it is.
Galaga.
Those two games.
Galaga, great game, classic,
Galaga.
wonderful
Oh,
game.
Galaga's fantastic.
Uncle Darren?
Oh, that's close. That's tough. I'd have to go with Tempest.
Oh,
Tempest is
yes.
yeah, that's like I remember being. That's complicated, right? Or like more complicated than like a.
Tempest is the one with the dial, right?
No, that's the one where you're looking down at the tube. It's a raster graphics, and the things are coming up at you, and you have that yellow thing around the edges.
Oh,
and
Yeah,
it's shooting.
you had a dial,
it's
right? That was how
shooting.
you controlled it, was with the
Yes,
dial?
correct,
Yes,
correct,
I remember.
correct.
That was a good
Wasn't
Tempest
that-
is great.
And then when that came out on the Jaguar, Tempest 2000, that game was great too.
That was a big thing
I don't
in Ready
remember that on
Player
Jaguar.
One.
Yeah,
I don't remember
Tempest
if it was the movie
2000
or the
on the
book.
Jaguar.
You know what I
Yeah,
remember on
it was a
Jaguar? I
thing.
remember playing Doom on Jaguar. Doom was on Jaguar.
Yeah,
right?
yes, yep,
Yes,
yep.
that was fantastic.
Joe?
That was a good game.
Favorite arcade
Killer Instinct.
Oh, good pick.
Yeah.
Good pick.
That was a good fighting game in an arcade.
I like arcade games about food service. So Burger Time,
Burger
Burger
I was like,
Time,
you said
and
Root Beer Tapper.
Root Beer Tapper.
Root Beer
Ever
Tapper.
play
There-
Root Beer
there was-
Tapper?
There was another cool
Nice.
game out that was called Crazy Climber. I don't know if you guys know.
No,
that.
I never played that.
That's like
Yeah,
Ice Climbers.
that sounds
You use two sticks, and this is what you do. And the guy climbs up the side of a building. Look that one up. It's funny.
Crazy
you can
Climber.
actually, I think you can actually get the original game if you go on the PlayStation Network and go and look at like arcade classics or something like
Crazy
that.
Climber.
Check that crazy climbing.
Sounds
yeah.
fun.
And he just climbs, and people are opening up the windows. They knock a pot out, it hits you in the head.
Wait a minute.
Fall down.
Did
Then
you
he gets
see
like the top.
Is this the basis for Fix It Felix from the Wreck-It Ralph movie? Did you see Wreck-It Ralph?
No, I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
Actually,
Oh,
first off, you should see
So
Wreck-It
that's
Ralph.
him then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
But the
about
game is called Fix It Felix Jr. It's a fictional game, but he's basically, he's climbing up, and there's people throwing like potty
That-
plants.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
that must be the
Crazy
basis.
climbing.
Yeah.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah, you should. Uncle Darren, I'm thrilled.
That's
You
a
should
really
see Wreck-It
good-
Ralph.
yeah.
I think you'd really
I will.
like that.
I
It's a
will.
lot of fun. There's a lot of like hidden stuff.
It's like a
there
bunch
for
of
people
Easter
who-
eggs about the video game.
Yeah, so he's this character that's basically like the villain in a bit in this video. So he's up on top of the building going, "I'm gonna wreck it," and he's smashing. But he's basically what's the premise is he wants to be taken seriously and he's a good guy, but it's just like it's so fun. It's like
Yeah,
you'll
imagine
have
I
a
can
great.
see that.
Yeah.
Imagine if Donkey Kong, the original arcade game, decided, you know what, I want this to be about who I really
Yeah,
am.
Oh,
pretty
okay.
much, yeah.
Okay. So that's what they were doing. They were putting. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It's a really good movie.
All right.
Yeah, it is. And then actually, the Fix It Felix game, our local arcade, Yestercades, made like an actual cabinet for Fix It Felix, and it's a lot of fun. But it sounds a lot like the game you just described to us.
Yeah.
And then you also had the arcade game Punch Out. The arcade
Oh,
Punch
The
Out.
one where you
yeah.
actually
Yeah,
have
you
to-
actually had the
yeah.
And you had the green fists. And
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember
They
getting
have- I
really
think they have,
winded
Yestercades
playing
also.
that because
We
you
gotta
have
go to
to.
Yestercades.
Yeah.
We have to go to Yestercades.
Actually,
So,
yeah, Yestercades is this awesome arcade in Red Bank, like down the street from where we live, and you pay per hour, and they have like just an awesome selection of old. They have
They have
pinball,
Die Hard.
but they have all these old.
They have Die
They
Hard.
also have systems, so you can go and play a Nintendo. You can sit on a couch and play Nintendo, play Genesis. I think they have a 3DO. They have an Atari, which is connected to an old tube TV because it would look like garbage on a flat screen. But
Which
yeah,
is ties
That's a
into
great
something
idea.
that
I
feel
always
like-
thought of having something like that. That
Oh,
would
yeah.
always be a cool idea. Do they serve things too? Do they, hot dogs,
They got-
hamburgers,
I've saw like
fries?
that.
Do
Cool,
they-
like ice
do they
and
have
snacks.
stuff like
They
that?
They have vending
Yeah,
machines with
sodas,
snacks and
sodas,
stuff like that.
nothing
And it
like
is
that.
BYOB, so if you want to bring a brew or something.
You know,
That's
we
really
took
cool.
Mike and Melanie there and they loved it. I bet you would love it there. That place is awesome.
If you think about it, everybody's like, oh, it's just an arcade. No, it's a museum. In a
Yeah,
way.
that's
it's
that ties into something what I feel like is very
it's part.
important
It's a
for
historical thing.
gamer culture is really to go back and to be able to play these older games. Honestly, in the new digital age, we're getting to a point where it's not as important for them to preserve these older games, but I feel like it is. It's good for us to go back and see where we came from.
Especially
Go
now,
out,
you can play
go
games.
find
You
it.
should actually look it up. There probably is a video game museum somewhere in America.
Oh, they
right?
have
I'm sure
one.
there is. I'm sure there is.
They got a few. I looked. I don't remember where any of them were.
Yeah.
But it's not so prevalent that it's everywhere. It's near everyone, But check out the emulators. If you're a gamer, go check it out. I implore you, because there's a lot of cool stuff back in the day.
That's how we played Bug. That's how we played Bug.
Oh, we can't end the show without
Bug,
talking about
gotta
Bug for
talk
a
about
second. Oh, it's so good. I love that game.
Such a good game.
I gotta try and think of a couple other ones from
Hey,
that,
what
from that system.
what are you guys?
There was
From
the
the-
Clockwork.
The
it was,
Clockwork Night.
Clockwork Night.
Thank you.
is
Yeah.
What are you
fantastic.
guys' favorite
I got a
systems?
Favorite system? William?
No,
Chuck
thank
wants
you.
to know our favorite system. Good question, Chuck.
That was a good one.
So you're talking about of all time.
Yes.
Okay, alright.
Original PlayStation, Xbox, PlayStation 2.
You
Those are
said
like
your
your
favorite. You mentioned 3. You gotta pick one, bro.
Pick
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
Just one?
She said your favorite. That means one.
I might have to go Xbox. I might have to go original Xbox. That was really a
Game
huge
changer
console.
for you?
Well, Morrowind.
Game changer. I'm hilarious.
Morrowind was on there, and you know how much Morrowind meant to me. It
Alright,
was such a good
Xbox.
game. Max Payne was also on
It's such a tough question, and there's so many of them that are right there. But if I had to say which one really stood out just a little bit more, to me it was Genesis.
I
Great
think,
system. Great
Very
system.
great.
I think
Yeah.
my favorite is the GameCube.
Yeah?
I
You like those
also
cute little games?
Very good pick.
what?
You like the cute little discs?
Oh yeah. I also forgot to
Yeah,
mention
controls
several
too.
things
Yeah,
that I
controls.
would have
Tasty.
wanted on my favorites list,
Yeah.
like
Honorable mentions?
Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door.
Oh,
Very good.
Somehow
Very
I just completely forgot about it, even though that is most definitely in my top 5.
Super Mario
Fantastic
RPG.
game.
Oh, Animal Crossing.
Oh yeah, good pick. Good pick. Can't wait for New Leaf. New Leaf is gonna be fantastic.
That's the one that showed at
Switch.
E3.
Yes.
New Leaf already exists.
No. What's the new
New
one
Hor-
that's
New
coming out on
Horizons.
Switch?
Yeah, there was a big
Is that New
E3
Horizons?
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the one coming out on Switch. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. I misspoke.
So what I touch?
James, go. Favorite system?
I'd say the most enduring system in my life has been, let's say, the PlayStation 2, because you're able to play PlayStation 1 games on PlayStation 2. But I still have, and not the little one either, the big fat one, like the original PlayStation 2 model. I still play on the regular.
I mean,
I
we just
still play
recently
those
got
games.
Dance Dance Revolution.
Yeah,
for
I
that
play those
thing.
games
right.
all the time. And then there's a compilation I have of like pretty much all the old Sonic games that I play on my PlayStation 2. And you know what? It's still holding up. It's still kicking. There's a million good games for it. So PS2 is going to be my choice.
Now, random facts.
Really good.
The PS2 recently, I don't remember the year, but it was like within the last 2 to 3 years, the PS2 was finally officially discontinued in Japan. It was so popular.
Oh, it's still
They kept
going?
making it. Yeah, like
So
within
you,
the past few years, they kept making
with
them.
the other PlayStations too? Like you get
Yeah.
PS4 and a PS2?
Yeah, the
Wow.
PS2 was so popular, they just kept making it, and Sony was finally like, look, we can't make anymore. We really have to stop
Good
production.
PlayStation 2, also the one system to get 3 Grand Theft Autos.
Nice.
Yeah, they had all
Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City,
and San
and
Andreas.
San Andreas.
I love
All right,
the
I got one
Fantastic
here.
games.
Best looking system. Because
Nice.
when you said PS2, I thought PS2 was one of the best looking systems. I thought
Oh yeah, it's
the
still
little
yeah.
blue
I mean,
light.
you
And,
think of
Yeah.
how
That was the
uh,
first thing with the blue light that you
Yeah,
really
yeah.
saw too.
I mean, that's a pretty old system by today's standards, right? But I still have one, and it looks like it's a very handsome looking system sitting on the shelf, even though it's however many years old.
Yeah.
So holds
yeah,
up,
no,
you know,
it
enduring.
would definitely,
We're definitely
definitely
got
look
pictures of all
nice on a
these at the
shelf.
bottom right here.
I'm trying to flash through.
Like, you look at it and
Yeah,
you
I'm
say,
trying to think of them.
think about the Jaguar. Oh, it was horrible. It was
Yeah.
horrible. And then you remember they made the disc that sits on top. It looked like a toilet bowl.
Think about
I swear, it looked like a toilet bowl. And when the lid came up, it looked exactly like a toilet bowl.
especially for the time. Think about it. The PSP, that thing looked so sleek. It was a widescreen TV with a little button. Like it was compared to the DS at the time. The PSP comes out and it
Yeah, the
looked
PSP
so
was a
cool.
really
Don't smack talk the DS.
No, DS was amazing for games.
No,
but
they-
visually,
they're-
physically, it was an ugly
So
device.
It,
The
didn't
games
look-
were
it didn't look
amazing.
the best. I'll admit that. It didn't look the best.
Sony-
He said the best looking.
Yeah, Sony's handhelds are really good looking. Even
The Vita.
the Vita's great looking.
I like
You know-
the idea of the touchpad behind because if you play a game,
Yeah, and-
have you used it? One of my best
Super
friends has
Super
one.
Nintendo. That was cool.
Right, you got a phone in your hand. I can touch the phone. I'm touching the phone. With the Vita, your fingers are behind the screen.
Have you
so you're not
guys
blocking
ever
the view.
seen their
Oh.
augmented reality games on the Vita?
No.
Never
I
saw
played
them.
Glimmer.
Never saw the augmented reality
Yeah.
games. You
No.
crazy?
No.
I mean,
Okay.
play
PS
Pokemon Go.
Vita comes with cards. These cards.
Oh!
Place them down on the table, and then you put the video game on, and the video game actually shows up on the table.
Kind of like
Through the
Pokemon
Vita.
Go with the
That's
camera.
very cool.
So you're looking at it, it's not there, but you look through the Vita, it's there.
It's there.
Yeah, it's totally cool. They had like a fireworks one. It was kind of cool, but I mean that was like the first taste into augmented reality. I don't know where augmented reality is going right now, but I think Microsoft is still working
The
on
HoloLens.
something.
It's slowly
Yeah.
kind of catching on.
The military is
Microsoft
using it
is
with the
working.
HoloLens. Pokemon Go is still a big thing because it'll map out. IKEA has an app where it'll scan your room and you decide you want that chair you're sitting on. You can plop it in the room and see how it looks before you get it.
Yeah,
There's
that's
a few
cool.
different. Google Glass. There's a few others.
Well, yeah, there's,
That's right,
and there's a
glasses.
couple of companies that you could put clothes on yourself too. You can put
Snapchat.
clothes, right?
Snapchat's
Yeah.
a big thing. People don't think about it, but that thing scans your face and puts all these filters on.
It is. It's true. I didn't
That's
think of it
augmented
like that,
reality.
but that is kind of an
The
augmented
first
reality.
augmented reality thing I had was when the 2009 Star Trek movie came out. You had to print a picture of the Enterprise. Had all kind of triangles on it. You hold it in front of the camera.
Gotta take a drink. Every time he mentions
Every
Star
time you
Trek.
mention Star Trek, I have a drink.
You gotta- yeah, you print the picture, you put it in front of a webcam, and you would like tilt it, and there was a ship hovering above it. It was
That's cool.
to print things.
Yeah, but if you look at the Vita too, they put. I mean, they had OLED screens in the original Vitas too. I don't know if they still make them. They still make the Vita.
No,
When they made the next
they finished.
yeah when they made the next version of it, it just had regular LCD screen, but the originals had OLED screens in it and really nice. I mean,
Samsung made them. So have you seen all the Samsung phones?
It is.
The
you know,
iPhone 10. The same
it's gonna be a
screen.
stupid choice, but I liked it. And this is me being completely biased again. I thought the original Xbox was cool looking. It was a beast of a system. It was gigantic. It was heavy.
Edgy.
But I don't know. I liked that X. You know, it had the Xbox in the center.
It was unique. It was different.
It was very unique.
What
It
came
didn't
out
see
of
You know
anything
what?
like
I
it,
actually
you
don't
know?
know what the original Xbox looks like.
We'll show
Oh,
you
yeah,
after
yeah,
this.
yeah,
yeah,
It's like
okay.
Yeah, we'll
like
show you.
two.
Imagine
It was
even
great.
even
That thing was
the transformer was huge.
Yeah.
It's like if
Oh,
you
yeah,
played in a
imagine-
small room, it would heat the whole room.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
You'd be like,
that's
where's it
you.
getting so hot in here?
The big black X over it, and a big green ball in the middle. And a bunch of lines. They had a bunch of like vent thingies.
How long
on it.
is this going for?
We're at 42 minutes.
Ooh,
Honestly,
we got another
I
episode.
think,
honestly.
yeah, I think this is its own episode.
It might be
Yeah,
another
no,
We're
this
episode.
is good
we're
shit.
gonna attach it with what we had before, but I think this is
Yeah.
gonna be yeah.
Oh, you were? I didn't realize
Well, that was the plan, but you know, our cup it runneth over with
Yeah, we
video
were-
game talk. So
You know what I have to say about games? Everybody always wants to hate on games, like, oh, it's a waste of time. No, there's been psychological shit done. Like, it helps with motor control, it helps with dementia, it helps with focus. Like, there was something recently here in the United States, and I think in Germany or Sweden, it was with elderly dementia patients. They made them play games. I don't know what games, I don't know what they were playing, but it was helping them keep focused. Like, you can't keep your body active, but if you're playing Madden, like, you're keeping your mind active, you keep the strategy going. It's like, that was cool. Like, they're taking these things that people look at, like, oh, it's just entertainment. No, it keeps your mind sharp.
Oh, it does. It definitely
yeah.
does.
A small part of
Yeah.
that, and this is so anecdotal, and it's just a thing for me, is in games where you would have to, like, in older games, you didn't always have a map, so you had to memorize in your head where you were going and what you were doing. So I did kind of get great pathfinding from that. Like, I have a good sense of direction, I feel like, because of my early time with games. Where
You
I was
gotta
always
remember,
trying
you gotta
find
go
my
to this
way.
temple here, you gotta go to this, and shit. That tree, that one tree, I know where that
That
tree is.
tree.
You gotta turn around.
And you know what it is
go
also?
there.
Yeah, it's
it
visual
also-
cues.
It's I guess it's good because you know your persistence in a game, right? So
Yeah.
that kind of helps you in real life as well, right? If you're that persistent in the game, you can be that persistent
Like
outside
even
the game as well.
You
right?
learn that, like,
I
through
give up so
effort,
easily.
you will be rewarded.
I give up so easily in these games.
Yeah.
I get
like
lost
puzzle-
and confused.
Problem
and-
solving. How many games you
I got a
with
game.
problem solving
Oh, yeah.
all the time?
Darren, have you heard of Kerbal Space Program?
No, I
It's a game. It's a full simulator of space flight, like rockets, orbital mechanics. Like, it's mathy. But I've been playing this for a while, and it launched these dudes into space. And we're talking full 3D graphics, everything. You got this rocket with these two little astronauts, and they're lost. Like, they're floating. They're floating out there. So just in this game, after I learn a little bit more, I built another rocket, and it's like, I gotta go rescue these people. Like, I'm playing this game seriously. to
So
go rescue
basically,
these-
it sounds like simulator.
yeah.
It's a simulator.
And it's like, I care about these little dudes floating out in space.
Oh, sorry.
That's good.
Who's
Oh,
knocking?
that's Tiff. She's leaving.
Oh.
I mean, we're at 48 minutes.
All
here.
right. Well,
Alright, guys, muster the gusto.
Wait, hang
Alright,
on,
it was
hang on. I
great.
just thought of something.
It was great.
Portal
being over there.
teaches you
Thank
to
for
never
coming on the
trust
show.
Kate.
Great being on, guys.
you did great.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on the show. This will be episode 10, I guess.
Yeah, it's a 10-9. I'm just gonna keep filming because something
Oh,
God, you sexy ass bastards.
That would be a great end. You can't skip the fucking cutscene, you son of a bitch.
What happens? There's a spider.
You think you're better than me?
He gets bit.
It's not blocked though. Come on, guys. At least.
Oh, it
like
is
that.
recording.
Oh.
Get that going for us.
Alright, good.
Am I playing this?
Yes, you're
Am I
Spider-Man.
controlling the
You're
camera?
controlling that
Morales.
chair.
It's cool. It's like a motion activated.
Yes, it's motion activated, James.
Swooping, so swoop
Oh,
up.
we should put him in a game where
Oh!
it's like one of the gyroscopy bits.
Huh?
I don't know.
Energy
Games
bar.
have that.
It's a good brand right there.
That's a good one. I like Swilco. It's my favorite soda.
Wilco?
Swilco soda.
Should have been Swayco.
Am I supposed to be paying attention to this stuff? Bad guys.
You can. You don't have to.
Rhinos, Rampage, Roadblocked. Ah! Jesus.
The Avengers theme play in the background. Kind of sound like the Avengers.
All units, level 4 mobilization. Location, Fisk Tower.
Fisk.
A little Rube Goldberg action here.
That's what I would use my superpowers for. Throwing the bread in the toaster.
So he grabbed the bread with his web. It's all webby now.
Yeah, he would eat. He would be eating
Webby
web
toast.
toast.
Is that organic web or is that
Free range web.
This looks really good.
Yeah.
Oh snap! I thought he was gonna fall. I said, "Yo, shut up
Sure.
and watch how good I am." Look at this.
All right, get ready, James.
I get it. Yeah. Why? I can't. Wait a minute. Press X to jump, then hold R2 to swing.
Yeah, you can kick off that.
Oh, okay. Can I climb walls?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
I don't know if you climb or you just run.
I'm not being a good Spider-Man right now.
There you go. You got it.
I fell into a sign. I have to go to Times Square. Should I take the subway? Oh shit.
Stop leaving the mission, James.
I don't understand what you mean by leaving the mission. Where's the mission?
It's you have to follow. You see that yellow dot?
No one ever told me
You gotta
about a
turn
yellow
around.
dot.
James, turn around, James.
Alright, fucking relax.
You gotta, what are you not going to Times Square for?
I thought, am I following?
Going south.
Where's north? How do I know what
Touch
north is? So there's a yellow dot.
Yeah.
That one. Okay.
Yeah.
So what am I? Oh, okay.
You have to follow
go
the
left.
yellow dot.
Alright.
There you go.
Okay. So can I just walk there?
It's gonna take you a while.
Like how long? But now the yellow dot's saying this way. I don't understand the yellow dot right now. It has an arrow on the top and the bottom. Oh no, there's like a blue dot. I'm just gonna walk.
I did to swing.
Who said I had to swing? Can I take a taxi? Hello. Hello.
I don't think you can take a taxi in this.
Am I going the right direction? No, I gotta make a left. Okay, I understand the yellow dot now. Trotting, Spider-Man trotting through downtown.
I hope someone does this. Someone does a playthrough where they're they
afraid
try
of
to
heights or
roleplay as
something.
a regular guy.
I'm going. So is this like to scale of
Kinda.
New York?
The main guts are.
Oh, Spider-Man! Don't get in my way. All right,
it's
hang
food
on. Let me try this.
Oh, Swilco.
When does this take place?
What's a web zip? Oh shit! That was cool. Ah! Whoa! Whoa! Am I going the right way?
Yes.
Oh, cool. See, I'm getting it. I'm not a complete idiot. Yeah. Okay. All right. Oh shit! Oh, this is looking Times Square. It's over here.
There you go. There it is.
Boom. All right. Now what?
Turn a little.
Turn one way.
Left.
Left.
Can you go in subways?
Oh, I did it.
Yeah, you can go in circles.
Oh, machine guns? That ain't cool. Is my suit bulletproof?
No.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing. No? No, yeah. Die, all you idiots. Oh, I gotta follow the dot. That's important, right?
Fisk is Kingpin.
Who's Fisky too?
He's the big guy.
No! Can I do walking again? Yeah.
Here you go.
Oh, am I supposed to go down there?
No.
Then what did I do that
That's
for?
just a move you can do.
Oh, I could like hit people with
Yeah,
manhole
like you would
cover?
hit the bad guys with that.
That's what it says L1, R1. I'm supposed to press both at the same time?
Yes.
Yeah. Alright, I guess I can speed it up a little. What am I supposed to do? Web strike? What's Spider-Man doing here? I fight crime, you idiot! What do you think? What do you think I'd be doing? Hey, he's got zingers. Yeah, oh yeah! Did I just hit them with a piano?
Yeah, that was a piano.
Press this to heal?
The directional down, directional up.
Like this? Am I supposed
No.
to? Oh, this one.
That thing.
Directional.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Good point. Move. Yo, there's too many moves. I
It's
can't.
hold L2, R2. There you go.
What is Fisk supposed to be? Like Sam Goody?
Yeah, the Kingpin runs
Big
the same
corporation. Sam Goody.
Take that shit, Spider-Man.
A little. It doesn't. I just got
Just a
shot.
little.
Just a little bit.
Just a
It's fine.
touch.
How am I supposed to do things? These guys are kind of dumb. They just have guns and they're just like, oh, where is he? Well, finisher? What am I supposed to do?
Fatality.
Like that?
Yeah, basically.
Ah! There you go. Bad guys. Hey! Let's do this, bro. No, they grow tired of me doing that because they clearly stop me from doing it after. Yeah.
They do? They're like, not
Well, I
gonna,
don't. Maybe I'm just
not gonna open that
pressing the wrong button because I would love to do it indefinitely.
for the rest of your life.
Doesn't seem to be allowed. Spider-Man has lost his marble. All right, where am I going? Why my camera angles aren't very good now?
You're the one controlling the camera. Okay, there's the yellow.
I'm not doing very well. What is the other side? I don't know where I am.
Here, look down.
How?
On the right stick. Should control the right stick.
Left stick move, right stick
Red
down.
stick's not doing anything. Wait, there we go.
There you go.
Yeah. Should I stop doing that? Yeah, I just wish I could grab their guns and just start going to town. Is that like against his
That's-
code or something?
That's later. You learn that skill later on.
Douchebag. I'm sure I'm supposed to be doing something, right? Oh, I just came from here. No, that's not good. How do I get back up to where I was? I'm a failure.
It's alright.
Mom always tells me.
She does not say that.
Honey, you're a failure. You're still going up, honey bear.
You're doing great.
I can't imagine this being fun to watch. Sorry, guys.
I'm
back to
Want me to help you? Little coffee.
I don't like being inside of a building. I like it better when everyone else out on the street. Yeah, emergency medical technicians. That's what that stands for. Can I do like EMT stuff? Spider-Man certified? There's no CPR button. You're acting like I'm the jerk. No.
Bazooka bad.
You hesitate too much with that bazooka, man.
You got the bazooka, just use it. You're doing great, man.
That sounds super easy mode.
Oh yeah, it might be super easy.
You're dead, douche. Yeah.
This whole game is actually based off of Michael Jackson's life.
Off the wall. Did anyone get that off the wall reference? Maybe. Shield enemy block attacks from the front, but are vulnerable from the back. What is that a sentence? Shield enemies. Oh, okay. I thought it was saying shield enemies block attack. No. Shield enemies. That's the name of these guys.
Yeah.
That's the name.
Block attacks from the front, but they are vulnerable from the
From
back.
the back.
So I gotta hit him in the butt. Punch his butt. Punch his butt. Yeah, kick him in the butt.
There you
I'm gonna punch you in the butt. Yeah. How about that? yes.